We rocking out. Four corners, baby. Rock out with 41 Savage one time. Let's go. Let's get it. Come on. Hello, hello, hello. Four corners of the square. Four corners of the square. Four corners of the square. Four corners. All right, guys. We got TrailRides. We got 50 Cent beef. We got T.I. beef. A side note, we've got Israeli war. And I want to thank you guys for joining me, Tavares Squared Up. So we're going to get into that. We're going to break that open and see if we can bring some information to the table. As the title says, it's blacks versus niggas. Corporate versus community. All these ideas we're going to get into. We're going to wrap our heads around in 1 second. But in the meantime, let's get after it, guys, and see what we come up with. All right. Thank you guys for joining me, Tavares Squared Up, where we practice, we exercise, we implement the Squared Up lifestyle. The Squared Up lifestyle consists of God, family, business, and country. And there they go. Every time we get started, they want to start going to sleep. But we ain't going to let them go to sleep. We're going to try to keep their attention captured tonight. So the main issue, the main news stories this weekend has been the U.S. has attacked Iran on behalf of Israel. I know. You don't care anything about it, but I've got to bring it to your attention, or I wouldn't be doing my part to bring information to my people. All right, we talked about that with the new show, the new presentation, the Square Israel Report, and we're going to be covering the day-to-day breaking news and give you a different perspective of it versus the mainstream media and what they're saying about it. Remember, Squared Up Lifestyle, God, family, business, country. We're trying to focus in on building Black citizenship up. Square business. We're trying to develop some things that are going to be beneficial to us as a group of people. But in the meanwhile, we're going to keep hammering away with this Squared Up lifestyle, and let's get into the reels of the week while we're hammering away. This first one has to do with a thing that I'm truly admirable about, and that's the talented 10. But before we get into that, let's just go ahead and get into it. You take a gander, see what you think, and we'll keep going from there.
Closing of the 100th anniversary of Black History Month, people are beginning to search for Black grocery stores, Black thrift stores near me. I think this is a wonderful thing. I think this is a wonderful idea because they're predicting in 2026 Black American purchasing power will exceed $2 trillion. $2 trillion being handed over to who? Everybody but you. After 100 years of promoting Black history,
So yeah, 100 years of promoting Black history, and look at what we are promoting and presenting ourselves in fashion as. This was something we were proud of in the 80s. We were proud of Black History Month. We were proud of integration. We were doing the things that made us as a people feel accepted, feel welcomed, feel embraced. But 35, 45, 50 years later, it's looking that we may have made a mistake. Black History Month, closing it out. What does it really mean? Glorified materialism, glorified consumerism. What does it really mean to us as Black Americans, descendants of slaves, foundational Black people? It doesn't really mean anything because, as we said, the banks, the grocery stores, the healthcare systems, the privately funded schools, they're not there. And we keep banging and we keep harping and we keep talking about that. But those are the institutions that solidify a group of people. Those are the institutions that codify, bring them together, keep them close together, right? But that was Black History. Let's check out another one and see what you guys think about that. The Reels of the Week coming in every week here at Bar Squared Up. And we truly appreciate you guys stopping by. Uh, Miss Nita Rashid, thank you. Miss Renee Bossy Morris, thank you. All right, let's check out this next one. It has to do with Mr. Jesse Jackson. Take a gander, see what.
damn, man, look good. They look incredibly good. Mr. Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King, Mr. Reverend Jesse Jackson. Guess they'll be united again. But my thing is, why are y'all hooping and hollering about him not lying in the rotunda at the U.S. Capitol? What's wrong with y'all people, man? The more these folk tell you they don't want to be around you, the more you hoop and cry be around them. Listen, he gonna lay in state in South Carolina State Capitol building. And that's honorable, because that's his home state. But I'm trying to figure out why we ain't taking him to the King Center in Atlanta, Georgia, where his protege or his mentor is laid to rest. Or even better off, why not take him to the Rainbow Push Coalition and have his line in state there? Y'all folk got to stop and get serious, man.
Okay, guys, listen. The Rainbow Push Coalition building in Chicago is a magnificent building, right? That is his life's work. That stands as a monument to his life work. That stands as a token of what he left here behind when he transitioned on to glory. Why not demand that he have his line in state in his life's work? If you take notice, his building is an impressive building on the south side of Chicago, right there in the heart of the hood, in the heart of the ghetto. And when I looked it up, researching his story, I was impressed. I was thoroughly impressed. No matter if Mr. Jesse Jackson has done some unscrupulous things in his career, in his life, we've all done some unscrupulous things in our career and in our life. Uh, Judgment is the Lord, as my grandmother told me when I was sick a couple of weeks back in a spiritual dream. Why not have him lie in state at the Martin Luther King Center in Atlanta, Georgia, right? The King Center is a spectacular center. The campus is vast, right downtown Atlanta. Why are we begging to have him lie in state in the U.S. Congress? And it's not, we're not wrong for asking, but when they decline, we don't, we don't make a brouhaha. These people tell you they don't want to be around you, they don't want to be bothered with you. Let that go. Let it be. What James Pittman said, let it go, Joe. Joe came back being dragged on a horse. You remember that, Miss James Pittman? But in all seriousness, Mr. Jesse Jackson laid in state at the South Carolina state capitol. That's his home state, South Carolina. So that was appropriate. Let's get into this next reel. I'm sure this one will captivate your attention. And if you step in, please say hello. Mr. Sean Smith, my bruh. How you doing? Thank you for joining Tavares Squared Up. We truly appreciate it. Check this one out. This has to do with the action figure trend.
The report just came out that these people have used this action figure trend, this action figure gimmick to take advantage of you and use your privacy to their advantage. Research, development, training, metadata, geo-positioning, behavioral techniques. Yeah, all this has been done against you. Unbeknownst to you, they don't do it for your benefit, it's for theirs.
It's not done for your benefit, it's done for theirs, right? The first weapon used against Black Americans was divide and conquer, right? You've got a single mother, you've got an unwed woman. We're going to help her take care of her children. Uh, that was the first weapon. The second weapon was consumerism, materialism, right? We're going to exploit you as a community. We're going to extract from you as a community finances, financial gains, financial perspectives in the future. How did this happen? This happened just like this action figure, offering you something that on the face looks like it's gonna be beneficial. But once you get entangled with it, once you get ensnared with it, you're going to find yourself at a deficit. You're going to find yourself at a loss. And that still reigns true today. The first thing, divide and conquer the family. The second thing, exploit you financially, right? And that model is still accurate today, it's still prevalent today, and they're still working that very successful in 2026 going into 2027. Uh, so that action figure, you think it's cute, you think it's sassy, but the researchers said that they're using that to get personal data. They're using that to get uh, intelligence on you as the individual, gather that with other people and sell that off. That's what the reports have came out with in the month of February about the action figure trend. Uh, let's get to the next reel of the week. Excuse me. Allergy season is upon us. Allergy season is upon us. Let's check out this one here. And it has to do with our main story. Let's take a gander at it. This here, man.
Just checked out the post by the good brother, attorney Justin Miller. Check him out, read it for yourself. But he breaks down the phenomenon of T.I. versus 50 Cents. And he describes it as social engineering. Now, I know my people is slow sometimes. I'm slow sometimes. But God dang, man, y'all ain't got nothing better to be worried about than these 2 millionaire niggas arguing over bullshit to get you to buy some bullshit. Y'all ain't learned nothing. It's 2026, man. I know you got something more important to do with your time and your attention. Damn.
Look, man, I know you got something more important to do with your time and your attention. I'd like to make Tavares Squared Up, Blackmail Media, Tava Media Group, something that you can sink your teeth into and dive into with your time and your attention. Time doesn't cost a dime. Won't you take this opportunity to get on the grind? And please, at all costs, don't use my line, right? Time don't cost a dime. Won't you take this opportunity to get on the grind? And please, by all means necessary, you don't use my line, okay? But on a serious note, man, Justin Miller was absolutely correct. Attorney Justin Miller, look him up, seek him out. He's got great content. Justin said that this is social engineering at its best. We'll get into this later because this is the main story tonight. T.I. 50 Cent beef versus the trail ride, right? I think it's going to be interesting. I'm glad you're here with me. We've got one more. This is very touching to me, as you know. I'm very sentimental. Tavares Squared Up is a very sentimental man. Not that I'm a weak man, but I do have love. I do have compassion in my heart. Let's check this one out, see what you think, guys. And we will move on to the main story after this.
You are not coming back. You're on my profile because I need you back. I need you on my profile. I can't plead you back. I can't plead you back. Oh, silence. It's true. It's true. It's so true. I want you back. I want you. Have you back.
Hey, man, that's that profile. 26 profile by your boy 41 Savage, man. We rocks with Savage, man. Savage is chanting the soundtrack to this squared up lifestyle, this squared up movement, God, family, business, country, right? They tried to assassinate Savage a couple of months back. He survived that. He's still putting it down. And he's trying to save the lives of young black men. I consider him an ally, and you could consider him an ally because what they're putting out versus what Savage is doing, Savage is dropping jewels. Are you picking them up? Savage is trying to rescue the youth. Savage is trying to get them on a path that's going to be beneficial versus this path of destruction that the corporations have devised for us. But that's part of the main story. We're going to take a quick break, guys. We're going to get right into it as soon as we come back. We've got Memory Marie. Thank you so much, ma'am, for stopping by. We've got Pastor Mackenzie Wynn. Pastor, how you doing, brother? Truly appreciate you stopping by. And all the other people who have stopped by this evening. So let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining me, Tavares Squared Up, God, Family, Business, Country.
Lifestyle.
That's squared up lifestyle. That's squared up lifestyle. So, with no further ado, the problem with the 50 Cent and the T.I. beef, as we were just discussing a second ago, is that it's manufactured. It's manufactured, it's artificial, and this is what they do to sell money, to make money. This is what they do to make money. And in that course, they are selling you out. Much like our president, President Donald J. Trump, someone who I was fully behind, I fully supported. And after further investigation, after bearing witness to his behavior and his actions, I know that he is no longer someone I could support. So, vocally, out loud, um, admitting I made a mistake, I'm admitting that I was wrong, and I'm asking for your forgiveness. I'm asking for your acceptance of my apology, right? So, with that being said, T.I. and 50 Cent, once again, let me go over the timeline very quickly, guys, if you don't mind, to give you an idea of what's going on with these guys. Is the beef manufactured? Of course it is. It's not real beef. These guys have millions of dollars at their disposal. Why would they jeopardize any of that over some bullshit? They're not. This is a publicity stunt. This is a marketing stunt. This is social engineering, to harping back to the good brother, Justin Miller. The complete history of 50 Cent and T.I.'s beef. I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm just going to go through the key points. This is from Complex, Complex. Complex, if you want to check that out, read that. 50 Cent and T.I.'s long simmering rivalry has finally boiled over into rap's first ugly beef of 2026, with diss songs arriving from Tip himself and his sons King and Damani. It's the day that ends with Y. And as such, 50 Cent has found himself embroiled in a beef with another celebrity. This time, Fifth is trading barbs with T.I. over some old and new allegations regarding a canceled Versus performance. Keyword, this is all over a performance that Mr. 50 Cent decided that he didn't want to participate in. Some entertainment. This ain't a business deal. This ain't a business deal about investing in some banks. This ain't a business deal about building some grocery stores. This ain't a business deal about building some healthcare centers and some healthcare networks. This is not a business deal about building some privately funded black school. This is not what's going on. A few innocuous comments set off the affair, which marks the most recent development in the artist's strained relationship. Though both MCs certainly have more powerful beefs with other rappers, the New York icon and the Atlanta star seem to now have genuine disdain for one another. The battle has escalated to include wives, children, and even deceased mothers, a place we never want to go, never want these disputes to go. Of course, you don't want these disputes to go there. But the corporations say this is where the money is. This is how you get your fan base riled up for your future projects. What projects? The projects that they have in works. This is all publicity, guys. Trust and believe me. How did seemingly harmless speculation about potential versus battles turn into the first true rap beef of 2026? T.I. initially suggested on $1 million worth of game that the two had agreed on a versus battle, with the ideal being that Tip would reveal the news. He claimed on the pod, hosted by Gilly the Kid and Wallow, that 50 went back on the plan, playing dumb when the What You Know rapper shared the news. From there, diss tracks are dropped, insults are lobbed, and past interactions have been brought up and recontextualized thanks to the spat. How did we get here? The two have a long history. Here's a timeline of 50 Cent and T.I.'s relationship. This story was updated Friday, February the 26th. All right. 2020, 2007, 2008, 50 Cent calls T.I. a snitch. Why does he call him a snitch? Because he gets caught with machine guns, and he only has to do 12 months in prison. 2011, 50 Cent drags Tiny into it. 6 months after being released from prison, T.I. got jammed up. 50 Cent asked via Twitter, why didn't Tiny take the charge for T.I.? 2020, T.I. publicly calls out 50 Cent during the COVID lockdown about a versus performance. July 2020, T.I. pushes for a versus battle, and 2021, 50 Cent shuts down the plans for a versus with T.I. by saying that was something that we did when we couldn't go outside. Now that we're going outside, what's the use in doing it? All right. In September 2021, T.I. continues to press. I thought verses was something we did when we were stuck in the house, he explained. As soon as we got out the house to come back outside, verses didn't make sense to me. It makes sense to me. This is what 50 Cent said. Verses to me, that showed up and was the hottest thing. I was paying attention to it, watching it like everybody else. As soon as we could go back outside, I don't know why we still doing it. All right. In September 2020, in September 2021, T.I. continues to press 50 Cent. And February 6, 2026, after years of silence, both on T.I. and 50 Cent's behalf, T.I. revisits the versus matchup. T.I. officially calls out 50 Cent and says that he will destroy him in a versus matchup on Nightcap with Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson. February 22nd, 2026, T.I. calls out 50 Cent for changing mind on the verses. That's what we read where he was on $1 million worth of game with Gilly and Wallow. February 23rd, 2026, 50 and T.I. beef gets ugly. 50 officially entered the chat shortly after T.I.'s appearance on $1 million game. Began circulating. The King rapper finally got what he wanted, a response from 50. Tip, though, might have forgotten to calculate that the Queen's rapper can get rather nasty on social media. 50 posted 2 photos on his Instagram account. The first, a rather unflattering photo of his wife, Tiny Harris, along the caption, "Keep my name out your mouth." In a second post, he compared T.I.'s son, King Harris, to Pepe the Frog. T.I. himself continued on 50's post. T.I. himself commented on 50's post about his wife, writing, "Fuck nigga, you can post a fat hoe in the snowstorm on a unicycle juggling dildos. You still a hoe." Hashtag King said that. King added, "Where your mom?" February 24th, 2026, Tina Knowles enters the chat. February 25th, 2026, T.I. drops another disc. February 26, 2006, T.I. Kids drop disc records. 2 of T.I.'s kids dropped disc records towards 50 Cent. One is Domani, who dropped a song called Miss Jackson. On the song, which starts off with the sample of Outkast's popular 2000 hit of the same name, the 24-year-old rapper pens a letter to Fifth's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, who died in a fire when the G Unit head honcho was 8. And then King Harris dropped his own song and video, which features him wearing a t-shirt that features the face of 50's mother. Rick Ross, who's had an issue with 50, hopped in the comments, and Rick Ross, who's also not a fan of 50 Cent, hopped in the comments and wrote, "Need that T in 3X, little bro." 50 doesn't seem to be too worried about the songs. He's been on the gram bigging up his achievements in the TV world. There you have it, guys. A synopsis, a timeline of this marketing strategy, of this advertising strategy that has Black America on its seat, on the edge of its seat, talking about who, what, when, where, and why compared uh, to this. I think it's a waste of time. I think it shows us that the white supremacists are correct. You are less than, you are unworthy, you are atrocious. Why? Because you got rich niggas, $500 million nigga, and $100 million nigga with T.I. Respectfully. My numbers may be off. These are the most financially successful Black Americans, and they're arguing as if they standing on any project, any low income neighborhood, any nightclub, any liquor store, any barbershop, any place where you can find a majority of Black Americans, descendants of slaves, foundational Black Americans. This is what we do. And even if you got money, it's still what you do. Now, just oppose that to this phenomenon called the trail ride. What are the trail rides and what are they about? Here's a little snippet of a trail ride. It has no audio on it, so we're gonna go ahead and let it rock out. And I'm gonna try to introduce this to you. The phenomenon of the trail rides has just came into fruition over the last 100 years. It's a tribute to the Black cowboys of the West. It's a tribute to their dexterity. It's a tribute to their vast numbers. 1 out of 4 cowboys in the late and early in the late 1800s and 1900s were Black males. They were running heavy in Texas, heavy in Louisiana, heavy in Oklahoma. You know what was in Oklahoma, right? Black Wall Street up there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So from Tulsa, Kansas, Texas, Louisiana, and some of the other southern states, these people were very visible in their herding of the cows. The phenomenon of the trail ride date back to the 1950s, where they started groups that celebrated, participated in the hobby and the professionalism of horsemanship, right? Now, today in 2026, 2025, 2024, 23, the rise of the trail rides and the Southern soul music phenomenon. What's the beauty in these particular phenomena? The beauty is it's not corporatized. It is ran completely and independently outside the corporate sphere. Why is this important? Because the corporate sphere has destroyed what we call Black America, hip hop, the culture, the music. Don't take my word for it. I'm not just out here talking in circles. This is a real phenomenon. And this next reel is an example of that. Check this out. This is the good brother, Mr. Uh, Big Gip from the rap group Goody Mob, and this is his take on it. Take a gander, see what you think, guys.
Another way. Rap right now has a corporate entity, and all they want you to do is create music that can bring money back. So at the end of the day, their subject matter is drugs, killing, and more killing. So now us as a people, I think that us as a people, we're tired of that. We're tired of the corporate just pushing that in our face, saying that this is the only thing kids can do, the only thing they can represent. And when you start looking into the Southern soul market, you start seeing all the beautiful things that Black people have to say about ourselves, the love that we got, the way that we do music. It's not talking about death, it's not talking about destruction, it's talking about life, and it's talking about building. So that's what Southern Soul is right now. It's about a new way for us to be unapologetic about what we mess with. We don't have to follow what they want us to follow, and that's why hip-hop has been destroyed. At one time, they said, yo, I love what you do. Here's the money. Go do what you do. Now, you got a whole bunch of suits coming up telling you, hey, the numbers are saying this. The algorithm is saying that. So do things that's following the algorithm and the numbers, and you're not coming up with great music. You're coming up with trash music. And that's the reason why music right now is not something, especially this era. I don't know how much of this music will be remembered or be played 20 years from now. I don't know, because most of the artists themselves, it's amazing just to watch the excitement of Young Boy. What's so exciting about
He goes on to talk about a lot of other good information that's on the Be High podcast. That's the guest, Mr. Big Gift. Uh, I want to read something to you. I want to read a little synopsis of what they're saying about the trail rides. African American trail rides are a vibrant rural parade like celebration that honors the legacy of Black cowboys and Creole culture, particularly in the southern U.S., Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. These events feature horseback processions, zydeco music, line dances, and community serving as both a cultural, traditional, and a social gathering. You wonder where the phenomenon of the line dances come from? Shout out to the line dance. It comes from the trail ride, right? That's something that they do. They do it very well. And it's a significant part of that particular culture. Cultural significance. These rides, which often attract hundreds of thousands, hundreds or thousands of participants, pay homage to the 1 in 4 cowboys of the American West who were Black. They are considered a mix of a family reunion, a cookout, and a community celebration. Key regions and activities, primarily in Texas, Louisiana. These events are central to the culture, with communities coming together for weekends of riding. Let me pull up that same video we were just watching, but I'm going to add a little twist to it. And I heard this the other day, and I was like, "Oh my goodness! If that's at the trail ride, let old squared up get up to the trail ride and see what's going on." All right, all right, all right. Now, I hope this doesn't tear up the plan. Listen, let me read this last little bit and we'll get on with that. Modern trail ride culture. Modern events, such as those featured on Facebook, often feature high energy, line dancing to Zydeco, R&B, and hip hop. Are you looking for a specific type of information? Special location dates for upcoming rides, Texas or Louisiana? Check it out on Facebook. Information on joining or attending a trail ride, history of Black cowboy tradition, details on the music and the dance. All this is on Google AI. Pull up that information and get involved with the trail ride if you'd like to get involved with the trail ride. Listen, guys, I think we've done ourselves a disservice by messing with these people and messing with uh, that corporate dynamic, that corporate dichotomy. Because what are the results? You can infer what people's plans are, what people's desires are by the result of what they've done. Right? This has been the show for today. We truly appreciate you guys. Let's shut that down right there. Let's get ready to get a prayer in here. We can call this thing quits, man. That's your girl Kaya, her body. And I think that was pretty good. You know Kaya from Neck and Back, my neck, my back. Yeah, that's her putting it down in 2026. And it sounds pretty good. I ain't even mad with that trail ride mix. That trail ride mix. All right, guys. Dear Lord, thank you for blessing us with the opportunity to live these lives. Please keep us covered with grace and mercy, which only you can bestow upon us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen, amen, amen. Listen, man, there's a lot going on, man. A lot going on. But if you could, if you would, rock out with Tavares Squared Up, rock out with Squared Up Lifestyle, rock out with Black Male Media. Listen, man, we got a plan, man. We ain't just out here free balling and jack balling. Nah, them days is over. We got a plan. We working on some things, but we need you. We need you to comment. We need you to like. We need you to share so the message gets out there. There's one from amongst you who is knee deep, waist deep, throat deep in the business of blackness. What's the business of blackness? That the business of blackness is black people doing things that they haven't done in 40 and 50 years. I know it's hard. If a brother like myself can be entangled and ensnared in it, I know that others are having a hell of a time trying to come from up under this shit, man. Right? But you can come from up under this shit. You can be redeemed. And let me help you redeem yourself, right? Let's get together. Let's put some things together. Before we get up out of here, we're not going to go without the sacrificial, sacred sacrifice of Mr. Edric Foster. We got brothers out here putting it down. We got sisters out here putting it down. I don't know the brother. I'm sorry. I don't know the brother. But if I know them or I didn't know him, the story is he's been unjustly convicted. And that in itself is a rallying cry. We're excited. We've been excited for the last 15, 20 days because of the trial, because of the conviction, because of the sentence. Are you still going to be there? I'm making my donation tomorrow, along with some other donations. We put money where mouth is. We're putting money where mouth is. We're putting money where mouth is. And I'm broke, man. But I still got gas. Hey, guys, thank you for joining me. Tavares Squared Up. God, family, business, country. Squared Up lifestyle. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. Be there, be square. Squared Up lifestyle. Talk to you guys next time. God bless.